to build a home. I feel this world coming over me. The pressure makes me fall. And if I stay locked in the half-life, days that you're willing to die. Breaking mama heart, now she's starting to cry. Broken beer bottles that are starting to fly. No, my time is coming soon. 7 foot gold line up in the room. Kicking up dust in the shadow of doom. Tell me something flare, now I'm starting to fume. I know my time is coming soon. That's when everything went wrong. That's when everything went wrong. I lay down to down, concrete floor. That's when everything went wrong. That's when everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. That's when everything went wrong. Everything went wrong. Down, concrete floor. That's when everything went wrong. The devil's coming after me. Devil's coming after me. The devil's coming after me. There's a nigga sitting on the sidewalk, sitting on the beans, and the friends can't look for me. That's when everything went wrong. That's when everything went wrong. I lay down to down, concrete floor. That's when everything went wrong. That's when everything went wrong. That's when everything went wrong. I lay down to down, concrete floor. Look, that's when everything went wrong.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here, Titan Esports Gladiator League, week number 7. And we have Timeless Harmony versus Turnip Tots. I am, of course, Fun Phoenix, and we are back joined with Rayperion once again.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ray, and it's nice to meet you all again. It's been a while.
Been a couple weeks. We missed you here in the Gladiator League, but we're happy to have you back. And yeah,
Absolutely.
we have quite the game on our hands tonight here. So we have, like I mentioned, Turnips Tots currently in first place, sitting at a 5-1 record. Arguably tied with Hardhat's own BBB for that first place spot. Playing up against Timeless Harmony, who are currently tied for 8th, sitting at 2-4. And as we sort of approach the end of the regular season, it becomes a question of, these top 8 teams, they're going to be the ones that make the playoff cut. So Timeless Harmony are really, they're on the cusp there. They're not quite locked in any means. They're 2-4, they're barely staying alive. They really have to make every week count. Whereas Turnip Tots, if they get a win this week, I believe they are just completely locked in for playoffs.
Yep. And already, I know I've missed out quite a bit, but thanks for helping me catch up, Phoenix.
That is what I'm here for. And I believe we are going to jump into the draft here. So, I know some things have been changing in the League of Legends ecosystem. You have any insights on what the pros have been picking, what sort of those stronger picks have come out to be in the last few weeks after we've seen a couple patches change?
I wish I could give really strong insight, but my opinion is almost as invalid as I've not touched it as long as I could remember.
Gotcha. Well, we all have those games, all have those moments in life where we decide we have to take a break from League. Sometimes it's for the best. Looking at these players specifically, I wouldn't be too surprised. Konotoki from Timeless Harmony, they have been playing a lot of the Viego in the jungle, so we could look to see them pick that. Same thing with Mr. Zombieland. They have been playing a good amount of Silas so far this season, so another pick we could expect to see out of them. In general, there's kind of a lot going on in League. I don't think there's anything that's too crazy overpowered. I think Seraphine, Sivir, still probably pretty good picks, but overall, a lot could really happen. There's kind of a pretty wide open field here.
Absolutely. As we see the bands of Senna, Graves, Ari, Morgana, Twitch, and Trundle as the final band for Turnip Tots, what do you think the first pick's going to be?
Well, I mean, Sivir and Seraphine are still open, so I would personally think it'd be one of those two. And there you go. There's
Speaking
the
of which,
Seraphine.
there she is. So, are we going to see a Sivir on the side of Turnip Tots?
I think that would make a good bit of sense, perhaps. But instead, looks like we're going to see just a raw blind pick Silas. So taking it away from Mr. Zombieland, and instead Turnips Tots going to be the ones to pilot that, paired with a Misfortune.
Ooh, that's a really nice pick. Fortune's a lot of fun, especially with that mean double up and her game-changing ultimate.
Yeah, definitely. And Akshan locked in for Timeless Harmony. I don't think I've ever seen an Akshan in pro play.
Yeah, I vaguely remember Akshan becoming a thing, but he just went into obscurity for the past year.
That is
So
sometimes what happens with those new champions. Currently, I will say, Timeless Harmony, they're winning on the champion release date spectrum, as we have Akshan, Viego, and Seraphine.
you are not wrong with that. And on the side of Turnip Toss, they only have Silas as one of the new champions, but they have Fortune and Poppy, which are pretty strong picks overall.
Yeah,
So already we've seen Shen coming out from Turnip Toss as a band and Yorick from Timeless Harmony.
and we'll see. The Yorick ban is a bit interesting. I'm not really sure what that might signify. I don't think Yorick is especially popular these days, and so it must be a ban thrown at Juggernaut. I guess that'd be my best guess. But any ideas what the York could possibly mean in the top lane?
Mm, no split pushing allowed.
Very true. Very true. And Turnip Tots going to lock in Leona. You know, it does look not quite like Leona. It's technically an Earth, but that is in fact a Leona pick. So bot lane locked in for Turnip Tots.
And speaking of Leona pick, we have another Earth.
Apparently the coaches didn't get the memos.
And we got another one. So if I remember correctly, according to the lobby chat, these two Earth picks are Set and Nautilus. And so Turnip Tots will conclude the draft with an Alawi.
Let's go! Alawi, one of my favorite champions. She is so much fun to play. I have played too many games on Alawi. I love the champion to death. I'm so excited to see an Alawi in this game.
That's a champion I don't really see often as much anymore, but an Alawi game is always fun to see. Has always been a very... Alawi always has this very dominating presence ever since release, and that hasn't changed, which is really nice to see.
Yeah, and now that we have wrapped up the draft, I believe we will be able to hop to a quick break and then jump right into the game. So we will see you back here in 30 seconds or a minute. So stick around. And not a very long break indeed. We are now on the Rift. And even though we have this pair of very aggressive supports, we're just gonna chill out on our own side of the jungle, evidently.
When in doubt, 5-stack.
And not quite a 5-stack, maybe more of a 5-point, but either way, it is cowardly. Okay, all right, we see a bit of early aggression at least. We've got Leona Nautilus. Come on, guys.
What I meant, 5-point, not 5-stack. I totally did not say 5-stack.
Tomato, tomato. What's the big difference, really? And
exactly.
Right. I wonder if you can shine any insight onto what this. Again, we have a couple of weird picks. We have Akshan mid, which not only is Akshan not a super common pick in general, I think he is more popular in the top lane than the mid lane right now. So I was wondering if you can, give any insights into either this Akshan pick or also maybe this Alawi pick.
Well, I suppose Akshan's really great in terms of ganking, especially with his invincibility. Putting him in the mid lane would give him a lot of flexibility. And I don't really know how well stealing Akshan's ultimate as Sylas would be, so that's probably what's going through their mind. Also, if you have a decent Akshan player in the mid lane, why not run it down?
Well, maybe we don't literally run it down, but I do agree, another part of that is the test of, hey, can you play the skill ranged versus melee matchup in the mid lane? And so we're going to see if Counterclock 92 is going to be able to use that to their advantage, or if No Turt will just be totally fine.
I say, that Leona skin looks amazing. I haven't seen that before.
A pretty nice skin for sure. So, a bit more of a quiet here. Earlier game, both junglers have started on the top side, and they will be pathing towards this bot Crab. Could be an early point of contention for these two teams.
Indeed. As while both sides start a little slow, just going all for at CS. So here's the inevitable question, Phoenix. What's the soul of the game?
You ask me this every time. Well, it's not Hex Tech, all right? I can guarantee that one, and that's because the Hex Tech drag is the one on the map. So I'm gonna go with. I think it's gonna be a mountain dragon. Yeah, I'm gonna say mountain dragon, mountain soul.
Oh, all right. I'm feeling spicy. I want to see Infernal.
Infernal. All right, bold. So here we go. Finally, some action. The dredge line going to land from Alolan Marowak and going to be able to find Mr. Shmee taken down. And actually, it wasn't Mr. Shmee taken down at all. It was Real Natsu who was the one got engaged back on by Shmee and now overextended in the 2v3. Meet Your Beat has made their way down, going to claim the life of Nautilus as well. Alolan Marowak also going to meet his demise. And in the top lane, a trade of summoners, or should I just say Juggernaut, using both Flash and Ignite now. And Sanserino 34 brought low, so an early double kill for the bot lane of Turniips Tots.
That was a really good dodge by Juggernaut with the Flash.
Having to dodge all that true damage, very important. Of course, the set passive going to just do so much work here and giving you that extra health regen when you're at lower HP bars. So Sanserino is actually going to be able to sort of stick around despite being put so low.
Yep. Set's passive at his work. That forced Juggernaut to just recall and reset their corrupting pots.
Exactly. As Juggernaut, we see that did opt for Ignite, and it didn't quite work out for them. Unable to find that kill there, and now they don't have the teleport option at all. It will be left up to No Turn as we get to that mid game. We'll have to wait and see. Is Meet Your Beat going for maybe a bit of an invade here?
Ooh, trying to sneak in and steal some jungle minions. Unfortunately, none. There's none to steal.
At the very least, able to poke your head around all those camps, make sure nothing is happening. And now that this bot lane has been dropped in the... Sorry, now that this first blood has been dropped in the bot lane, it will be a question. You know, there's a whole lack of summoner spells down there for both sides. So we'll see, you know, if Konotoki or Meet Your Beat want to make a play down there.
As you can see, Konotoki thought he would go down for the gank, but it's Drake time.
Yep, will get spotted out by Meet Your Beat, but maybe a little bit too late. So just going to figure out, hey, they're on dragon, guys, but won't be able to make anything happen of it. And that first dragon will go towards Timeless Harmony.
Both Sanserino and Juggernaut are at level 6, so we're going to see some interesting fights in a bit.
Yeah, this is so okay. So I can bring out the Alawi tech here. So Alawi Ult Leap of Faith. Well, yeah, Alawi Ult Leap of Faith makes you very briefly unstoppable. Shmee in the bot lane here, make an aggressive Hex Slash forward. Misses the dash in, but with the combination of Meet Your Beat here, not actually going to go for the gank as Konotoki's Ghost Veil scared them off. Close top lane dive. Juggernaut has Ignite up. Ooh, bummer. It lived with just a sliver of HP, but the CS difference in the top lane kind of going crazy.
Yep. Already we can see, you know, Ilaoi at work. The amount of damage she could deal, putting in a lot of pressure on Sanserino.
Exactly. You know, it's hard to play against Alawi when you are that melee bruiser. Puck going to go in from Alolan Marowak. But Shmee just going to be able to bring up that shield and actually go back in. Drops the Ignite. Marowak going low. Will live with a sliver of HP. And GG No Rematch does not have the flash to find the kill. So it will just be Alolan Marowak dropped low, but not actually finished off. They're going to hang around, though. And the rain of bullets will come from above, but with very few items at this point in the game, not really able to actually kill Nautilus at all.
Again, hey, we've seen quite a number of close kills and fights. These deathless fights are going to be really crucial for Timeless Harmony.
And Timeless Harmony, speaking of, now in the top lane, Konotoki has made their way up, and Juggernaut does not have the ultimate available, so comboed with the showstopper, it will be enough to take down that Alawi. Even with the ignite dropped, your wave will be crashed, so gonna recoup some of that advantage. And Sanserino going to also find that kill. The response now in the bot lane. Drops the ultimates. Not going to be find Alolan Marowak quite yet, though, and tries to dredgeline out of there. Interrupted by Meet Your Beat and taken down, but Real Natsu is spared.
Fantastic ult from Mr. Shmi over there.
Oh, we see
Well
the
timed,
action.
well placed.
There we go. 2020 champ. Use that invis. Boom. Invis. Doesn't matter. You can both flash. It will not be enough to keep you alive. Counter clock is turning the clock forward. Getting a pair of shutdowns. A nice little double kill. And looks like Meet Your Beat might be the next to follow, though. The blast cone there. Seems like it will secure their safety. So 2 kills, or I guess it seems like Konotoki was able to grab GG no rematch. So it was just one for Counterclock 92. They got that shutdown as well.
This is the reason why Turniips Tots need to be careful of the auction peg for Counterclock 92.
As we now see that Rift Herald that was taken earlier by Timeless Harmony used in the mid lane. Going to pick up a couple plates. Not going to be able to break the turret, though. In the bot lane, though, looks like we're trying to throw some CC down on Alolan Marowak. Going to respond, going to use all that CC on GG no rematch, and not quite able to sidestep the encore at the very end, but will live until Konotoki dashes in. Oh, able to get the possess, picks up that misfortune, but not going to have a whole lot of HP to work with. Tries to get that the Heartbreaker out, living with a sliver of HP, but with the hijacked encore, a return kill for No Turt, and with the roam down, No Turt's able to find the remaining members, a double kill for that Silas, and overall a 2-for-3 win for Turniips Tots.
That fight took so long that No Turd was able to get down in bot lane and just finish up the fight. Also, Konotoki, how in the world did he manage to survive that long? And all the moves around the 2 bushes and that little thingy, I forgot what it's called. That was a crazy fight.
Absolutely crazy. You know, it takes so long, and when you're sort of light on these damage carries early, you know, even though we did have Misfortune, GG no Re, they didn't have a ton of items, and it's kind of hard for your Leona and your Poppy and even your Silas. You know, if we look at No Turt's items, they don't really have a whole lot of damage built right now.
That was a lot of damage coming from Counterclock. And already, that's pretty much, you know, the effects of getting that Kraken Slayer early.
Yep, Konotoki has the Bork picked up. And now, Timeless Harmony positioning around the second dragon will be a mountain. Trying to get some vision here. It is a straight 4v4 Sanserino, no teleport available. There we go. Hijack the depth charge.
No Turd stealing the ultimate from Alolan. That's actually going to be pretty big with that CC.
And now we see that we pulled the trigger. We had dropped the hijack. Going to be enough to find Counterclock 92. Konotoki, with the help of the Shroud, going to be able to run all the way back to the safety of their team. And so they have found the pick. Now Turniips Tots in a good position. Up top lane, though, we're going for the dive. And Sanserino able to just barely take down Juggernaut and heal just up, leaving that ignite. Now back here, we see an Encore able to find 3, but the Konotoki does not have enough HP to follow up at all. Meet Your Beat also going to live with a sliver of HP. The junglers are so low, and No Turt going to continue this play, able to blow those chains up on top of Real Natsu. Another pair of kills for Turniips Tots, able to now find themselves realistically 3 picks at this dragon, and not going to take it.
Oh man, the slaps in the river while the fight of the Juggernauts in the top lane. This is what we love to see in League of Legends.
And, you know, despite the Hole Breaker pickup for Juggernaut, they have found themselves 2 levels behind, and they didn't even get first turret.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that first turret goes towards Sanserino. That's actually a pretty big lead for him. Even though he's 20 CS down.
20 CS down, but who cares how much CS you're down when the rest of your team is winning? As counterclock, looks like we're just going to grab some guns, point them at each other, and No Turt will come out on top. And seems like we might actually be taking the Mountain Dragon this time.
They're great if your team is winning and not going in and get caught like counterclock.
I'm trading up here in the top lane. As now going for a dive here, the Leap of Fate. Not actually going to be enough in the bot lane though. Able to dodge the Solar Flare, flashes out of way. Natsu going to be lacking that summoner spell now.
And Sereno, what are you doing? Why are you playing with your food like this?
I feel like we've been sitting here trying to fight around this Mountain Dragon for the past 3 minutes.
Yeah. Has it been 3 minutes? It felt like 20 years.
Definitely could have been longer. Sanserino maybe gonna make their way down. They do have TP for this dragon if they want to fight it.
Yeah, already the skirmishes for the Drake has gone long enough to where Sanserino has his TP back, which means Turniips Tots will be a 4v5 disadvantage.
You know, that is true. In many ways, you have that Hole Breaker on Juggernaut, so maybe that's kind of the plan, you know? And finally, Turniips Tots going to start this one up. Doesn't look like much contest is coming out, though.
Finally be able to take it.
Really does seem like it should have been theirs, you know, 2 fights ago.
Unless... Ooh.
There we go. Solar Flare going to come from a flanking Leona and counterclock. You know, at the very least, able to get that flash out of Meet Your Beat, but will perish in the meantime. Not able to show much for it.
Yeah, getting caught like that. That's a little bit unfortunate.
Definitely a little bit unfortunate if you are a Timeless Harmony fan, but thankfully, you know, these dragons are at 1-1. Lola Marowak going to go for the dredge line on the wall. Not going to be out of range of Hijack, though. And with the Death Charge, No Turt will be able to burst out that Alolan Marowak. Able to find the takedown on Nautilus. And now, Shmi pulling up behind. Maybe looking for a dive bot. In the meantime, top lane, though, we are going for some Priestess plays. Back to the bot lane. Shmi has forced out the cleanse. And Real Natsu getting real low, but not the only thing that's happening. Sanserino able to find the close 1v1 in the top lane. Back to the bot lane. Konotoki still dropping low HP. Has Heartseeker available and Flash. And a hero play from Counterclock. Able to the very least find one. Revives their teammate. A flash forward from GG No Rematch. going to help secure that kill. Lives on just a sliver of HP, but Konotoki has found the possess, the reset. And I guess some stuff happened and we ended up 1 for 3, 2 for 3. It depends how you count the revive.
All I'm looking at is 200 years of experience. All at work within the last 2 minutes of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, I love reviving my teammates. At the end of the day, maybe it didn't matter too much right there. Now meet your beat. Gonna get spotted out here, and there's really not much you can do to 1v1 Sancerino at this point. It's a set that's super fed with the phase rush. Gotta try and buy a bit of space here at the very least. And with the threat of the team looming and not enough vision to back it up, Sancerino will back off. Ooh, flash forward from no turret, able to grab the encore. It will hit a Alolan Marowak, who's going to at least dredge line no rematch. Had the CC score a bit, not going to be able to find the kill though, and Leap of Faith used in the top lane to chunk out Sancerino, who now has a huge shield alongside the showstopper. Don't call it heartbreak, but that's what Konotoki's doing to you. And maybe this Alawi pick not looking so hot.
Yeah, and each time, Juggernaut and Sancerino just hit butts at each other. Juggernaut is just so close to getting that kill. But I believe that set passive is what's carrying all these fights. Each time living by with a sliver of health.
So close just feels like an understatement for what these two players have been doing top lane. I mean, literal, 50 HP multiple times from both sides, and it's just come up Sancerino all times so far. Doesn't mean that Juggernaut can't go back. Oh, the Solar Flare will be used, and the chains over the wall going to connect. Real Natsu going to meet their demise, but the rest of the squad pulled up. Timeless Harmony have the numbers advantage now. 3 versus 4, able to find that first possess, and with an Alolan Marowak flank, you're going to be able to CC those team members out. And Timeless Harmony, they found themselves 3 kills there, and not a dragon yet, but at the very least, some good gold to get back into this game.
It's wild to think that Timeless Harmony is behind in gold, despite strong presences in all these fights. But now, they've equalized.
Definitely. I mean, it's such a closer game. In fact, now, almost a full 1,000 gold ahead. Crazy how that works. Unfortunately, it may be a 0-5 Alawi, but you still gotta send somebody to match it, and it doesn't seem like Real Natsu is up to the task.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Real Natsu will be fine against 0-5 Alawi.
It all depends how many spirits Alawi can grab, and Juggernaut doesn't look to be doing the best, although they will find one, so that will buy them a whole lot of damage. Real Natsu now, a little bit low. Oh, Juggernaut walks back into range of the beat drop, and Real Natsu able to, burn their flash. Grab that 100 gold.
You gotta feel bad for your Juggernaut right now. To be in this position, like with every fight, you're just so close to killing your rival in the lane, and now to be beaten down by a Seraphine. How would you feel?
I mean, at the end of the day, it really is about not getting 0-5. It doesn't feel good to lose to a Seraphine, but Juggernaut has realistically only themselves to blame. Just, miscalculated a very tiny amount in those fights, and that's really, that ended up costing them basically the entire lane. So Turniips Tots going to try and respond. Of course, Timeless Harmony did grab that Infernal Dragon, and now have dropped the Rift Herald in the top lane, able to pick up 1 tower, might get a second charge as well.
Oh, already, 23, heading to 23 minutes into the game, we have 32 kills around the map. Oh my lord. That's been a pretty brawly game.
I mean, brawly feels like an understatement. I think the real strong point so far, San Sereno, 6-0, 600 Gs on top of their name to boot. So they are going to be the player to watch in these next team fights. If you give away an extra, if you give away 900 gold to basically any member of Turniips Tots, you can put yourself in a really bad position.
Absolutely. And here, I think you see Juggernaut shifting over to the bot lane to try and shave away a couple more towers.
They have one tentacle, and Alawi does like these numbers. The more the merrier. Send as many. Bring the party. Juggernaut able to bring a Lowland Marowak very low within one tentacle slam, and now healing all the way up. They do have Divine Sunder. Look at the true damage. Dropped on top. The flash out of the way. Not going to be able to clean it up, and oh my gosh. That, ladies and gentlemen. Now Turniips Tots with the man advantage, 3v4. Going to land the change, maybe not on the original target, but counterclock will get out of the way. The bullet time not going to really hit that many, and Meet Your Beat getting very low. No Turd is on top of Real Natsu, who doesn't have any summoners available, and the teleport behind. San Sereno able to get it out, but Meet Your Beat gonna hit them all the way out of the way, and Konatoki also pretty low, but they do not have Heartseeker. Able to find that first possess though. Shmi
San Sereno.
not going to be enough, and able to get forward. A return shutdown now. GG, no rematch taken down. No Turt. The last hope here. Konatoki, bit low on HP. They do have Red Smite available. And Meet Your Beat going to get hit by the dredge line, so they're not going to make it out of this one alive. Unless the phase rush will keep them up. No Turt. Man, it's so hard to brawl with this level 16 set, but he's going to try. No Turt gets the dash. The Kingmaker able to heal so much HP. The shutdown going to go down. 1k to No Turt. The carry has been established, and Turniips Tots maybe not that far behind.
Saddest dead.
Lowland
He can die.
Spirit's going to get tested here. Going to get slowed from that. Will they be able to make it to the blast cone? Not quite. And No Turt just going to continue on this rampage. 2-3 items here. And hit with the encore now. Not going to be able to live. The revive is going to find 2. Welcome back. Counter clock will turn your clock back. And all the members are up again.
I'm starting to get a little bit tilted by just seeing teammates being revived.
Well, the game is still young. I hate to break it to you. So if Timeless Harmony have their way, they will revive. You know, hopefully a couple more teammates for the rest of this game. I mean, No Turt maybe a bit overzealous, getting a bit greedy there.
Yes. And that fight, Timeless Harmony is in actually a really good position to just secure Drake.
We still have, about 40 seconds left until it's up, so No Turt will be able to respawn. And it should buy Turniips Tots enough space to grab some of this vision back. But Timeless Harmony, they really do have a lot of space to play with here. They've been in this pit for 20 seconds now and don't have Baron, but they have the better position.
Already. Timeless Harmony and Turniips Tots at a standoff. In the river for the Drake. There's not spawned yet.
Juggernaut doing their job. Here we go, though. We found the inn. The encore finds 4. Mr. Shmi in the back line. Konatoki able to find Meet Your Beat. Gets that first possess, which is a huge deal. And that is going to be just a huge win. Juggernaut in the back line trying to do what they can. They found a nice leap of fate. Able to pick up a couple. But No Turt is still up. And San Sereno's not left to answer. Real Natsu left the only member alive. Timeless Harmony. They're game, it's falling apart now. No Turt able to at least get flashed out, and Real Natsu gonna try and chase this one away. But it's so hard. The cooldown so high on No Turt, and with the Everfrost, the Kingmaker keep their HP high enough. Pentakill for No Turt.
No Turt, the true carry of this.
And that's what happens. I mean, we saw Sanserino gave that 1k gold away, and No Turt took it to the bank and ran with it. And now they got a pentakill. We see them base. They got a full item, an additional Rabadon, an additional rod as well. Likely going to build into Rabadons, and Turniips Tots now winning again.
Man, that blind Silas pick is blind for a reason. Who needs a counter when you are the counter?
Yeah, definitely. There's just so many high-value ultimates to steal in this game. Shmi getting a bit cut out here, but thankfully it is Leona, so with a flash to safety, they'll be able to make it out. No Turt decides they want to go back over the wall, though, and they've stolen an Encore. It will find two, and they're trying to brawl it out in the backline with Sanserino there. A bunch of true damage gets dropped. Konatoki able to find the possess on Shmi, and now we have low HP bars, but Juggernaut on the other side of the map just taking turrets like there's no tomorrow. Sanserino here going to get flashed on Meet Your Beat alongside GG No Rematch, able to grab that kill. And so, I mean, Juggernaut's just been sitting here munching on the turrets.
This game's not looking too well for Timeless Harmony.
And the spirit will be tested alone. Marowak.
Such a strong combat only to be denied by Silas.
And Juggernaut here just going to try and play between these two tentacles here. The Leap of Fate going to try and find one. A Flash Ignite going to be dropped alongside the combo. And they will be able to find Konatoki. Alolan Marowak going to try and go in as well. And thankfully they'll live before too many tentacles come back. And alongside that, Counterclock is just going to say, hey, Konatoki, you know, we can pretend that never happened.
Oh, that's all the hentai for you.
Just not quite enough. You know, they may be 1-9, but I feel like Juggernaut probably has the highest turret damage in the game.
Absolutely. With the Hull Breaker, and, you know, for being able to push the turrets in the top lane despite being a disadvantage, 0-5 from the beginning of the game.
Well, yeah, the scoreline really hasn't improved much over the 0-5. You know, I suppose they have picked up a couple of assists at this point. But just that pressure that they're able to draw, you know, Turniips Tots, they grabbed that Baron as we saw. So now they have that to work with, even though the Hull Breaker Alawi doesn't.
Alright, now with all the objectives down, what's the next move for Turniips Tots?
Well, likely we're just going to see, you know, a pretty standard 1-4 here. Juggernaut is actually caught up in experience. Oh, missed the test of fate, so not going to really have a lot of damage left. And we'll see if they can buy enough time for it to come back up. Sanserino just going to continue autoing. Did use the set Haymaker early, so they actually won't have that much sustain left. And Juggernaut, you know, doing what their name implies. They're just so tanky, so hard to kill. That's what a Juggernaut really is. And we see the 1v1.
Oh, there goes Sanserino.
Hijack on the Encore, and gonna try and drop it back, but no Turts goes wide. Still gonna be enough to find Marowak, and now we see the rest of the squad. A good bullet time blocking the escape. GG No Rematch able to find a double kill of their own, and now 4 members gone. Timeless Harmony, only Real Natsu left, and they have the Leandries. We'll see if there'll be enough to keep the base safe, but they don't have a whole lot of teammates alive to help them.
And pop goes the bottom inhibitor for Timeless Harmony. And just in a bit, second one's gonna be down. Objective bounties now available for Timeless Harmony. But will they be able to claim any?
Does seem like they're playing it a bit safer here. They crack those 3 inhibs. They recognize, hey, 40 seconds until this Infernal Dragon's up, and they're just going to take the resets now, buy those items with the gold they got, and make their way to this next dragon.
And 30 seconds left, 20 seconds left, and the Drake. This is not looking good for Timeless Harmony. What do you think is the best way to engage? All in on the set?
You know, the one good news is you do still, of course, have, well, this is not how I would recommend Alolan Marowak. Has to burn the flash early on, and they're just not going to be able to live at all. So a teleport that looks like Turniips Tots are going to collapse on the Encore will find 3, and that's going to be nice. So Shmi going to be dropped pretty low here. It's all about Viego. Will he find any possesses? And right now it's not looking like it. Konan Toki's dropped very low, and with the Blast Cone out, Meet Your Beat able to live. God rematch. Gigi no Re is going to get possessed though, and Meet Your Beat thankfully going to be able to stun against that wall there, get a double kill, and that will be the end. So Turniips Tots, your game 1 victors. And Timeless Harmony, man, they brought it close, but they just couldn't quite keep a lead.
Really fantastic and strong first game. Man, what a game. What a brawl.
Quite the game indeed. And certainly a very, you know, back and forth, maybe a little bit more so than we would have expected, given that this was, of course, the first seed. Turniips Tots playing against a 2-4 team, you know, middle lower end of the pack right now. And I think Timeless Harmony, they played a pretty good game 1. You know, any ideas where they could maybe clean that up for game 2? I completely agree, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that was a really great point you made, and not much more to say other than that. So I think we are going to throw it to a bit of a break here while we wait for these teams to ready up for game 2, and then we will be back with more action. Of course, the draft, we will be live in just a couple minutes here, so stick around, and we will be back with you then.
Most of all, for me to live, I gotta kill the part of me that saw. And I needed you more. I hope you know we had everything. And you broke me and left these pieces. I want you to hurt like you hurt me today. And I want you to lose like I lose when I play what could have been. What could have been. Why don't you love who I am? What we could have been. I am your ghost, a fallen angel. You ripped out all my parts. I couldn't care what invention you made me, 'cause I was meant to be yours. Could have been.
And we are back for game number 2, Timeless Harmony versus Turnip Tots. It is, of course, Turnip Tots who have found themselves up a game now. So it is 1-0 in their favor. And, I think unfortunately, you cut out at the end of that last game. So you didn't hear me ask. I said, is there anything you think maybe you'd like to see Turnip Tots do here? Or sorry, Timeless Harmony do here to maybe find themselves maybe a better draft or something better in the game? Anything, any thoughts?
Maybe auction wasn't the play. Maybe something. Yeah, probably auction wasn't the play, and it's something that wouldn't really let someone like Silas roll over pretty easily in the mid lane. Other than that, I think their draft is pretty good.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to see if they, opt for a very similar style this game or if they want to do something a bit more different as we jump into draft here. I sort of agree with you. I think the action maybe wasn't great. I do think part of it, though, was it did seem like No Turt, it seemed like she was just able to basically roam for free and pick up 3 kills every time she went to bot lane.
Yep, that is true. All right, now we're talking about draft. First ban for Turniips Tots came through, and that's Twitch.
Do you think we're going to see an Alawi ban?
Probably not. Set ban maybe likely, or Silas.
Yeah, it could be. It does sort of seem like both teams are generally sticking with the bans they wanted to do in that first game. So Turniips Tots, they have opted for Twitch Morgana once again. It seems like Timeless Harmony they don't really want to play against Silas.
Yeah.
Who would have guessed? I would have never
Who
guessed.
would have
Personally.
thought?
Yeah.
Yeah, Penta last game, man. I'd love to see another Penta this game, but probably not a Silas.
Yeah, well, with the way No Turt played, seems like she could probably do it on any champ right now. And, Trundle Talia, so for the most part, Turniips Tots, they did opt for the exact same 3 bans they went for game 1. So they liked what they had in the draft phase. And it also means that they get the Seraphine this time since they are on the blue side.
Sir, with a Seraphine locked in, I wonder what Timeless Harmony is going to respond with. A Viego in the first pick, which actually not a bad pick. It worked out pretty well for him early on.
Yeah,
So
I
might as well
definitely
go for it
agree with
again.
you.
Oh, there it is. There's the Sivir.
Makes a good bit of sense. I think the Viego did look pretty good in Konotoki's hands last game. And Sivir, not something we saw in the previous game, but I do think, in general, she is quite strong right now. So I like to see the Sivir pick here.
Yes, and that looks like Senna is the support response to seeing Sivir being picked for Turniips Tots. And a Zyra for Timeless Harmony. So already we've seen the bot lanes for both sides. Seraphine Senna on one end, Sivir Zyra on the other. What do you think?
Senna was banned away game 1 by Timeless Harmony. So Turniips Tots, they see that opportunity. Hey, the Senna wasn't banned this game. Maybe we should just go ahead and pick it. And it looks like that is what they decided to go for. I think the Zyra is pretty interesting. I think Zyra does get a bit of additional value when you're not playing against like an AD carry because it's really easy to break those plants. And I think in general, Seraphine might struggle to, find those autos on the Zyra plants in lane. I am a bit concerned. I'm not sure how Zyra lines up against Senna, though. I think of Senna as a very, pretty sustain heavy, especially paired with Seraphine. They're pretty sustain heavy. And I think Zyra is kind of more of one of those poke mages. So I'm not sure if thematically it's a great pick here.
Yep, agreed.
As we see the Ornn locked in for Timeless Harmony now.
And the Yorn Horns out to play with a Nessus coming up from Turniips Tots.
Another not
season
so
against
common
Paul.
pick.
Not so common pick, but a lot of free stack farms, it seems like.
And Syndra, not one of those super common champions we see sort of at this level in this league. She's just not super popular.
Not super popular, but her kit is still absolutely annoying as we see another annoying champion being picked out for Timeless Harmony, and that's Vigar. I already hate what I'm looking at the mid lane because those are the two champions that I hate the most in game.
Vigar and Syndra.
Yes, sir.
Certainly very annoying. You know, those mid lane hyperscaling mages. They're just so powerful. And I really like the synergy between Viego and Vigar. You know, not only are their names very similar, which is bonus points, but Viego is one of those champs that you really want to have that one pick. You know, you're trying to play around those possesses. And Vigar's whole kit, you know, trying to trap that one enemy in a cage, use that unleashed power or, you know, whatever, the primordial burst, and just burst down that one target to get Viego his first possess. That's a really strong combination together. So I do like that from Timeless Harmony. On the other side, I think Senna Seraphine is really, really strong. And I'm not sure how the bot lane is going to really play out for Timeless Harmony.
Yeah, it might look a little awkward, but I think there's going to be a lot of poke coming out from Timeless Harmony. So I suppose it's up to Turniips Tots to see whether they could dance around in the bot lane with Seraphine. Other than that, well, do you know what they say? 2Vs make a W for the win. So, you know, the Viego Vigo combo might work out.
I mean, you said it yourself. They spell out into a W together. So, you know, we will just have to wait and see here as Timeless Harmony looking to find themselves a second game and force a game 3 here, fighting to stay in that 8th place or better and make it into playoffs. As we're going to take a very quick break and then we'll be back to jump right into the action here. So don't go anywhere. And like I said, a short break once again. We are back here, of course. I am still Fun Phoenix, and we are still joined by Ray. You know, good to have you once again. And, you know, it should be a bit of a slower game maybe without Leon and Nautilus.
Unless this invade goes through, it might be a slow game.
Oh, plus one stack. Plus one stack. Counter clock gets their first phenomenal evil power with that Q
damn,
landing.
it's
So
over.
yeah, it's already over. Might as well just go to the next game. So, you know, it should be, you know, I think at least, in my opinion, I think this is a bit more of an interesting game, just in terms of, it feels to me like I see more synergy on the side of Timeless Harmony than I did in that first game. I'm not sure about you, you know, if you see the same though.
Champion synergy for sure. And you could see quite a number of combos coming through in terms of ultimates and skill kits.
Yeah, so, you know, we'll just have to wait and find out. In the bot lane, GG no rematch, Burnt Flash. At some point. Early invade here, meet your beat. They got that ward, they got the first blood, they got the red buff. What did they not get? Take the wife, take the kids, take Viego's entire red side while you're at it, and Konatoki is just, oh, in so much pain, so hurting after that.
That is rude.
I didn't really get a chance to mention it before we had that really early invade, but Jujino rematch took the ghost this game instead of teleport, which is maybe a bit more standard on Seraphine AD carry. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have no idea why that ghost is there, Small. I'm as clueless as you are. Like I say, you're gonna need all the speed in the world to just dodge all those damage coming through, so probably that's what it's for?
Certainly could be. I was thinking maybe, cleanse could also be a good option, but now in the bot lane, Konatoki gonna show up. They are only level 2, unfortunately, which means they don't have the glacial mist, or sorry, they don't have the mist to keep them alive, and a clutch flash alongside the heal with Mr. Shmi, and Natsu gonna try and follow it up, not quite able to find the kill on Shmi though, so the Turniips Tots bot lane going to make it to safety for another day. No response back. So Konatoki is just still gonna be totally hurting.
And a smack from the Ornn. That's not gonna really mean much for fighting against Nessus. He's probably just gonna want to set another tower anyways.
Yeah, and I mean, Konatoki here just really, it's just so hard to play at this point. They sat in that tri-brush trying to look for, an additional kill to try and get themselves back into that game, but they just weren't really able to find it. Now look at this invade.
Speaking of trouble, just look at the positioning of Meet Your Beat and No Turd.
And some good trades now going on, so Alolan Marowak going to drop the Ignite, and Shmi will make it out alive with quite literally a sliver of HP. And now the bot lane basically entirely out of mana, so going to force the reset. And Timeless Harmony bot lane should get some priority here. Maybe buy some space for Konatoki again.
Nope. I didn't mention this before, but it seems like the fasting sign is still a thing, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. Still gonna be the best option here. Out in the mid lane, but no cage, so a flash forward, but gonna get eaten by a minion, unfortunately, and I mean, again, Konatoki really just scrambling after that early invade by Meet Your Beat. They're so pressed for options, not a lot of space to work with. A good flash forward alongside the cage, just a strong combination here. And looks like Meet Your Beat won't quite make it out alive, unfortunately, but Counterclock going to be forced to use the teleport to get back to this wave.
Really nice cage by Counterclock. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna at least track you down with me.
Exactly. It didn't stop the engage, but it certainly made it hard to get out, and that's good enough in this case.
One of 3 reasons why I hate that cage.
Certainly, I mean, one of just the most powerful terrain. It just takes so much space. You have to pay so much respect to it. That's part of the reason why Vigor is such a strong champion. So we'll see if Counterclock is able to do a better job of it this game than, we saw on the Action, which wasn't the best pick, it seemed, last game.
We're already off to a decent start.
Yep, and Timeless Harmony, they have the prio, they have the numbers, and they have the vision required. They will grab this first Infernal Dragon, so, Konatoki, despite being half the CS of Meet Your Beat at 6 minutes, they will at least find this dragon.
Now both sides, in the mid and top lane, all 6. What kind of action will we see?
Definitely does feel like, just a bit of that slower paced game like we expected. Once again, no Leona, no Nautilus. Just significantly less aggressive support, so the jungler is not really as interested in making their way into the bot lane in this game.
Don't blame them, they are both annoying to deal with.
Oh, Konotoki once again forced off some more camps because, you know, just this threatening hold that Turniips Tots have on the red side jungle. It's really just so hard for this poor Viego to play.
Already, you can see the damage on his build. Like 29 CS to meteor beats 45. A completed boot versus 2 Swifty daggers.
And this is one of those moments where maybe you do want to call San Sereno down into your jungle and just say, hey, help me take this red buff. I really need some assistance here. If you give up a couple CS, so be it. Not really possible in that case, given that wave size. But a play, you know, you have to be aware of. You got to communicate with your solo laners. Who has prio? Who can roam? And who's missing? All those things so important in this game. Olin Marowak gonna walk a bit too far forward, and GG no rematch has hit the level 6. The encore will go down. Real Natsu has the spell shield still available, so going to ensure their safety. But Marowak gonna eat the club in this case. A flash forward from Shmi, comboed with the heal, and the root will be enough. Natsu taken down in the mid lane. Seems like no Turt also going to set up Meet Your Beat to grab that one. So 2 kills, 4 Turniips Tots, and a very dominant early game.
Things are looking pretty bad for Timeless Harmony.
Definitely
winning
not
the first
looking
dragon,
great.
they're already 3k gold down in 8 minutes into this game.
Not the best start if you are a Timeless Harmony fan. Of course, the good news is you still have an Ornn. He is playing against Nasus, so maybe not the freest lane you could have ever wished for. And now Konotoki try to get some jungle camps back. Oh, a good flash. Sorry, a good dash over the wall from Meet Your Beat. Able to force that Heartseeker out.
The Ornhorn coming out from not being able to clinch onto anyone. There was interesting skirmish going on in the river.
Some classic mid lane trades. You know how those mid laners like it. And, you know, credit to Konotoki where credit is due. It does seem like they have reclaimed a bit of that CS difference. It was, I think, 20, 25. Now, it's dropping down a bit more towards that 10 area. And the experience is the same. They are both level 6 right now. So, Timeless Harmony, you know, despite that shakier jungle start, it does seem like they have a bit of light at the end of the tunnel right now.
Hopefully, this will help them.
The bot lane here, the Encore comboed with the Dawning Shadow. Marowak gonna get out with just a sliver of HP. And speaking of slivers, Sivir going to just swing those blades around, and not gonna be enough to find GG no rematch. But thankfully, Konotoki will be here to secure that kill. So a trade of flashes from the AD in jungle, but an overall win for the Timeless Harmony bot lane in the mid lane. Seems like no Turt comboed with Meet Your Beat. Able to kill counter clock 92. And no Turt, once again, I mean, she just has a great lead in this 11-minute mark. Already a shutdown.
Yeah, 2 kills and 20 CS up. Again,
And 3 Darkseal.
That is true. 3 Darkseal stacks. Ooh, we're gonna see a Magi's this game.
I think we're maybe a bit away from a Magi at this point. Is second dragon now on the map will be that ocean. The bot lane of Turniips Tots looking a bit flanked here. Shmi able to dodge out of way of that Spectral Maw. And Alolan Marowak stepped a bit too far up. Gonna lose a big chunk of their HP. They don't have their ultimate available, so no Stranglethorns, and means no possible fight for them. Konotoki almost spotted out. Thankfully not. Meet Your Beat. Hex flashing over the wall. Gonna get the stun on the lane. And counterclock Does Flash able to, at the very least, trade with Meet Your Beat? So not the end of the world, but still not good for them.
That was again, the same thing happened when Meet Your Beat went to Tower Dive counterclock. If I'm gonna die, I'll take you down with me.
And it does seem, in this game at least, Meet Your Beat has been spending a lot of attention in that mid lane, as opposed to what we saw game 1, where both junglers really were playing bot lane centered. Right now it seems like Konotoki has the same idea this game, but once again, you know, Poppy has shifted her focus into that mid lane, trying to abuse Veigar before he has too many stacks. Rift Herald dropped.
What the hell it goes?
Able to grab a couple plates now, so just a bit more gold and Meet Your Beat alongside no turret. Just gonna cheese in this bush and able to find Konotoki, the Heartbreaker, over the wall. Gonna be able to at least buy enough time. But in the bot lane, it seems like Alolan Marowak has once again overstayed their welcome, or should I say, maybe not. A flash over from Shmi will guarantee the kill, but the Stranglethorns was able to go off, killed GG no rematch, and Mr. Shmi able to stay alive just barely. Had to burn both summoners though. Now the HP, not looking too great, but I mean, this is just the power of Senna Sustain.
Power of Senna Sustain and the choice to take Fleet Footwork as your lane. It's a lot of healing.
Oh, nice. And, you know, that's just the keeper's verdict right there. Completely blind. Meet Your Beat didn't have any idea where Konotoki was, of course, in that Shrouded Mist. Able to still find it, secure the dragon in the top lane. Juggernaut popping the ghost. And alongside the Fury of the Sands will force the flash out of San Sereno. So, better, you know, a very quiet top lane, but that's kind of what we would expect out of Nasus Horn.
Yep. Nothing too crazy just yet. Farm here, farm there, poke here, poke there.
And you know, as we approach this 15-minute mark, I think it's time for a stack check. So, all right, what do we got? Senna, let's see. 42 souls on Mr. Shmi. In the mid lane, Counterclock has 105 phenomenal evil power stacks, and up here in top, Juggernaut sitting clean at 290 siphoning strike stacks. So, you know, all these respective laners, they are stacking it up. Just trying to buy that time for the late game. In the bot lane, though, Shmi with the Emerald Glaive going to be able to make their way to safety with the Mist. Going to burn the Encore as well. So, Natsu and Alolan Marowak out of summoners, out of ultimates, but they have the HP advantage, and with no junglers bot, they should be just fine.
Considering how still a top lane went, 200 stacks in 15 minutes is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's 300 stacks at this point. Juggernaut, they've done a good job doing what Ornn wants, or sorry, what Nasus really just wants to do, and sit there, farm your stacks, don't overextend, respect the jungler.
Juggernaut out here showing why his name is Juggernaut.
Certainly fitting, based on the champion pool we've seen so far tonight with the Alawi first game and, of course, Nasus this game. Juggernaut has set up a freeze in the top lane here, and San Sereno, you know, playing Ornn, you can't really break that. You don't have the wave clear, really.
Yeah. And already.
Oh, Konotoki here.
To show how sad he feels.
Caught out.
Right now.
Does have the Heart Seeker. Doesn't even need to use it, though, so gonna get chunked out a bit, but it doesn't really matter too much. We are still 2.5 minutes away from any objectives being on the map. Back for more though. Alolan Marowak going to eat the Poppy combo this time. The flash forward for Meet Your Beat, comboed with the Dawning Shadow, able to find Alolan Marowak once again, and Meet Your Beat going to continue to chase Konatoki here, but not going to follow him under tower. Able to grab one though.
I think Connor Cloud has given enough PTSD to Meet Your Beat. And then a couple of lessons about tower diving.
And there has been, you know, tower dives are, whether well, unintentionally, because we know it's not intentional. Tower dives are unintentionally buffed in this patch because I believe the towers do not properly ramp up damage-wise. That is a known bug on this patch, I believe. So we have seen a couple of moments in this match, both game 1 and in this game as well, where we've gone for some aggressive tower dives, and you know, it seems like maybe people have lived with one extra tower shot. Certainly a bigger deal in game 1 at this point. But that's, you know, it's not nothing. It's something you do have to consider when you pick your champions.
Alright, while the two Juggernauts in the top lane battle it out, it seems like Timeless Harmony is going to try and gather around Harold on the top river.
Doing what
Really
they
strong
can.
pushing down.
40 seconds down on this Cloud Dragon. It is Cloud Soul. You know, I'm sorry, we didn't get our predictions in this time, Ray, but I think it's Cloud Soul. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's Cloud Soul too.
Nice. Sorry, we were both right. Perfect.
Awesome. 100% prediction from me today.
Let's go. Flawless so far. Doesn't seem like either team are super interested in taking it right on spawn at this point. And Konatoki, it does actually seem like they're going for maybe a bit of a lane gank here in the bot lane.
Yep. Drake is up in a few seconds. It seems like Timeless Harmony has the better position on it.
So the dragon has spawned. Teams have their summoners. They have their ultimates. The top laners have teleport. We got a lot of options available. And the blue buff is on the wrong side of the jungle wall. Though, walking too far forward, counterclocks going to just get blown back by No Turt. And the Encore will find one. It will be a Alolan Marowak, who at least does get the Stranglethorns off. A Dawning Shadow will find 6. Mr. Shmee trying to make their way around. Lives with a sliver of HP. Not going to be enough. And Konatoki is alive. They have their possess. They found a Senna on accident. The Heartseeker forward. Going to force a flash into GG no rematch. And oh, not quite able to find the kill. Konatoki taken down before they can get GG no rematch. And Juggernaut just going to try and run Natsu down here. The Wither. The Fury of the Sands. The Ghost. Oh my god, bonk. Waiting for tower to reset, but without the wave there, it seems like real Natsu will be just fine.
What a tower dive.
And overall, a win for Turniips Tots. Maybe a bit unsurprising given the gold advantage that we saw there. Now Juggernaut maybe a bit far up. Counterclock does still have, you know, the Primordial Burst available to them, but does not have the team required to use it, it seems. This Cloud will be secured, but the teams want to go at it. Around 2, Alolan Marowak going to get caught out, but flashes over the wall. The red buff burn won't quite be enough to take them down. So both teams have all 5 members alive. Counterclock's able to find a good Everfrost. And On the Hunt popped, so the escape option has been used, and Timeless Harmony are going to get out.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Meanwhile, Sensorino, the top lane, has a tower.
No Hull Breaker picked up in this game, but still going to just keep that split push pressure in mind. Always important when you have these top laners with teleport, or even these mid laners with teleport. Understanding when they're supposed to be with your team grouped at objectives and when they're just supposed to be trying to grab, you know, objective bounties or local turret gold on the other side of the map. Super important deal.
Baron, the only other objective left on the map. I wonder how both sides will try to battle it out with vision.
Yeah, it should be interesting here. No turret. Pushed a bit far up here as now the Ornhorn will get canceled by San Sereno. Gonna try and flash to safety, buy enough time for Meet Your Beat to get here, and the unleashed power going to be enough to find Konotoki alongside the Dawning Shadow. San Sereno now a bit too far up. No teammates alive. A double kill for Meet Your Beat, and Real Natsu, Alolan Marowak zoned off of that fight from GG No Rematch. Counter clock now withered under the tower. And Juggernaut's not going to go for it.
Fantastic ult coming from Mr. Shmi.
And with that fight, you know, it's been about 10 minutes, so I think it's about time we run another one of those soul checks. Counter clock 92 on the Vigar, 158 phenomenal evil stacks. Juggernaut on that Nasus, of course, right now in the bot lane. Sitting at 437. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have Shmi approaching the 60 soul mark at 24 minutes. That's where these champions stand right now.
Alright, full check at 24 minutes. And it looks like Timeless Harmony is down by, I would say, give or take 9k gold.
Certainly has been less of a close game than we saw from game one. Timeless Harmony, you know, they were behind a little bit in that early game, but they were able to at least trade very effectively on the map and find ways to get that gold back closer to even swung in their favor in some moments. This game, though, it's very much just been the story of Turniips Tots. You know, they had that really early level 1 invade from Meet Your Beat, and it seems like they've had a 2,000 gold lead ever since. It just continues to grow. Now we have about a minute left until the Cloud Dragon GG No Rematch. Gonna drop the Ghost out of pure fear from the Ornhorn. Konotoki was, of course, also up there.
And Mirno have been talking to myself for the past 2 minutes.
You know what? We've all been there. You think you're unmuted. Turns out you're muted. Happens to the best of us. 1 minute now on this Cloud Dragon. Not quite Cloud Soul yet, but certainly getting to that territory.
I spy award, Seisena. Thank you for the free 30 gold. And another one.
Just for good measure, you know.
As I was saying, what's Timeless Harmony's win condition here? With Nasus and Senna stacking up endlessly.
Well, you hope no turret buys Medjai's and then sells it perhaps, or dies heat of the moment. Meet Your Beat going forward. No turret just deals so much damage.
Ooh.
Poppy's gonna go in. Encore from downtown. Meet Your Beat flashes out of the way of it. Unfortunately, Real Natsu forced to flash as well. No HP remaining, but Mr. Shmi a bit caught out here. San Sereno tries to go far up. They are, of course, Ornn. They don't take any damage, but the Ornhorn has been called, and there's no cry to return it now. Trying to find the dash out. Not going to be enough to keep them alive, though. Shmi just going to continue to auto attack. GG No Rematch finds Natsu, but the cage will take their life with them. A 4-for-1. A win for Turniips Tots, and a dragon secured with a Nasus in the base the entire time.
This game is looking pretty much over at this rate.
Top lane inhib is down. Bot turret is down. Juggernaut can't be killed. The Heartseeker gonna go forward, but Konotoki gets 2-shot by Juggernaut here. So a defensive ghost used. will ensure that they are A-okay. And looks like they're just going to run straight to mid lane and go after that tower now.
Close to 700 stacks as NASA's.
Bonk. Looks like Juggernaut might be attempting to trade their life for this mid lane tower. Ooh, walks into the cage, is going to get stunned up. So, despite Alolan Marowak getting two-shot quite literally by the Nasus, they were able
to establish his dominance there, but the
Yeah.
only thing he was able to establish is his death.
Giving, an extra 400 to Zyra in the process. So, Alolan Marowak able to get a bit more progress towards that second item. They are, of course, hurting a bit in the gold department, given that they are a 1-in-5 support. That's just, unfortunately, the life of a losing bot laner. You really don't have a lot of resources to play with. You just gotta play with what you're given, and in that case, at least you were given a couple extra 100 gold than normal. Turniips Tots now going to start up this Baron here. They have a very demanding, a very hefty gold lead at this point, so Juggernaut now going to drop the TP in, and Sanserino 34, a bit too far up. The Keeper's Verdict, spin, 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 get out of here, home run. No turret, going to go legendary, no Medjais of course, but the cage going to keep the rest of the team alive. Timeless Harmony now down their top laner. Ascone has been used. Heartseeker is still available in general. Timeless Harmony, they do have their ultimates still up. So we'll see if a Godsteel can come out here. No vision.
Come on, Toki. You can
No
do
flash. Doing their best to get zoned. A dash forward, trying to go after no turret. Just out of reach, though, and that will secure the Baron Nashor. Will also mean that this mid lane turret is short for this world. Turniips Tots just going to continue to pull ahead. Comes back around from behind, procs the phase rush and counter clock. They are not, I mean, they're a Vigar with, they're struggling. They don't have a lot of HP. They just get completely bursted down. We see what happens to those mid lane mages when they don't get super far ahead.
I don't think they're just struggling.
Yeah, I mean, a Hex Slash over the wall, combos with the Encore. And this has been quite the Encore to Game 1 in general. Turniips Tots, definitely a close Game 1, a little back and forth, but Game 2 here, they have just been absolutely dominant.
I think Game 1 really exhausted their mentality.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no turret does a little bit of damage. Keeper's Verdict now. Oh, gonna go wide a little bit. Konatoki. Stats are being padded left, right, and center, as Turniips Tots will be your Week 7 feature match victor, and Juggernaut going to take a couple of tower shots, a couple of fountain or laser beams just for fun, and 2-0 for Turniips Tots.
2-0 indeed to Timeless Harmony for showing a really strong Game 1. Unfortunately, I don't think they were ready for a really, how would I say, tough and brawly Game 1. So it is what it is. So I think we all can unanimously agree that No Turret is the MVP.
It did seem like both games, they did just such a great job keeping those mid lane matchups completely one-sided, whether it was roaming to max the Action in Game 1 or just totally lane dominating that Vigar in Game 2. They did play a very impressive 2 games this week.
Right, and with that, are we going to be doing any player interviews today?
I don't believe that we have any player interviews lined up for this week. I do believe, though, that with that win, Turniips Tots have secured their place in playoffs, even if they manage to lose every other game of the season. I'm pretty sure they will still sneak in, so congratulations to them. I'm not going to be confident enough to say that they are the first team to qualify for playoffs, but they very well might be. So once again, congratulations to them. And Timeless Harmony on the chopping block here. Time is of the essence, and with each week, a win just becomes that much more important. So you will just have to stick around and see. And I imagine we have very similar storylines in our other leagues. So if you want more Titan Esports action, check us out tomorrow, same time, I believe 8 p.m. Eastern. We will have the AVL, not sure. One of the two leagues will be live here once again. So if you want some more Titans actions, like I said, check us out. I've, of course, been Fun Phoenix, joined by the lovely Ray Pirion, and we will see you guys again, same time, same place next week.